Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How's everyone doing? Two people watching. Uh, Hello. Anyway, I was supposed to do a live stream this morning. I switched it over to tomorrow. But I I figured I'd do something. I wasn't doing anything. Rain like hell, boy, and just screwed up I'm trying to let me bring up think I can. Let me see if I can bring up the security cameras, and you can kind of get an idea. Imagine you could see the water. So it's not just drizzling. It drizzled a little bit. It's supposed to get concrete, and maybe, and no way. And now you can see up here where the steel's down. That was what we were going to pour. I think it was 5Q or something like that. And it's going to come from this bottle in the middle. I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you can see my arrow. Let me know if you can. Anyway, it's going to come back to this corner over here. That's so that I can pull the truck up after I unload the trailer and then back it on the concrete all the way back to the door. So I do have the fish over there. That was another reason why I uh, why I didn't. Who's here? Hey Gary, how you doing? Hello Ben. Um, and I got for some reason the other night we were laying in bed and my wife started showing me these pictures of, they were probably, well, I know exactly what they were, 50 and 52, 54 cm I think was the biggest. We ended up buying five of them. The guy gave us four little 12 8 10 12 inch fish, and they shipped and they came over here. We're just, oh, that one looks pretty good. I wanted something to put in the quarantine tank to get everything going, but not, you know, 4 or 5 thousand baht worth of fish. But just so you get an idea, that's 40, that's 54. Let me bring me up so you can see me, or at least somebody that's watching. That's 54, where my thumb is here, and then 50. Two of them are 50, and I think one is like 47. So they're all good sized fish. Actually, I don't know. I'm going to put them in the front pond and and do it that way. But anyway, hey Andy, how you doing? Is the sound okay? This is the first time I'm doing it with the 32-inch monitor. I finally got one. I ended up getting an Acer. Ended up buying it in town because I had really bad luck trying to buy three of them off of Lasada. Two of them just canceled me because they don't keep the stuff in stock, and they couldn't swing it. And one of them just sent me a little. I know that Kenny did a little deal on getting a doll, a 10 baht doll, and that's what I got. A little thing that fit in my hand, a little package this big for a 32-inch monitor. And it's happened 4 or 5 times. Actually, I've had trouble with this one. I ended up finally getting it done. It took like 3 weeks. In the past, like that one battery was what, um, 50, almost 50,000 baht, and they did that in like 3 days. So it all depends, I guess. Sound is good. Okay, thanks, Andy. Hey, Justin, how you doing? But as right now, and I'm kind of curious because the batteries have a charge in them. What I reset up the program on the solar, and I went in there, and what it's running now is off the grid. It'll look at the grid first. If the grid's there, it'll use the grid. If the grid needs a little backup, it'll I mean, not the grid, the solar array, and if that needs a little help, it'll use the batteries. And if the batteries and that aren't enough, when the batteries get down to, I think I set it for 10%, it will switch over to the grid. Well, it doesn't have to do that. When I go, usually the battery with a little bit of sunshine, and the sun is coming out now, and I have to go back out there because I'm treating those fish. Hey, Verna, I'm treating the fish right now in a tank with potassium permanganate. I should actually stay there and watch it. I got a net over the top. I didn't go with that stiff of a dose on it, so I think that they'll be fine. I got to go out there about two or so to neutralize that, And then tomorrow I've got ceramic media coming. I'll take media out of the big pond, put it in there, change half the water, and then I'll start testing the water. Every probably in the beginning 2-3 times a day, seeing what's happening with the ammonia and stuff. But I'm going to put 2 bags of oyster shells out of here, and I'm going to put in a whole box of new ceramic media, and I'll do a little video. I didn't do a video on setting it up, but it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, I set it up actually really easy, but I'll just take about 5 or 6 pieces of the ceramic media out of this pond, put it in there, and not feed them for a few days. And it should, because immediately there's going to be ammonia in there, so that it should take right off. I've done it a few times. But hey, Paul, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're well. But so I got to go back out there. So kind of ruined my day, and from what it looks like now, it's going to be. The thing is, the rain, it shows rain every day. It's rainy season. It's going to show it every day, whether it's 90%, 80%, 50%, 45%, whatever it is, and then it shows the rain. Actually, the 3 days prior to that, he could have poured the whole damn thing, and well, shoulda, woulda, coulda. Anyway, doesn't matter. Except the problem is, like me, I'm going to have to walk in freaking mud to get out to where the fish are. I don't know. In the last video, I think it showed that ICB tank out there. It's got a little bitty motor, barely pulls anything, but it moves 3,500 liters an hour, which is more than enough for in there. You'll see. I'll do it. I'll probably do what I was hoping to do to get the concrete done and get the lights is basically all that's left electrically inside. And Sim wants to make some money, the oldest, and I told her I'll pay you to paint it. And I bought a low pressure paint gun battery, something or other. Anyway, it was cheap, 500 baht, $15. I don't know if it'll work or not. I also bought rollers and paint brushes, but spray that. Once we get that sprayed, today that 3-part, I think it's a 2-part epoxy water based stuff that I bought off of Lasada. But they advertise it all the time. It's that stuff you see on Facebook, and it looked really durable, good. It's just a paint, gray, darkish gray. And once I get the walls painted, then I'll do the floor in one day, and it'll be dry the next day, and then we can get once I get the wall painted, I'm going to have the air conditioner installed, and then once we get the floor on the half side. Sim's going to help me. We're going to build all the furniture, my desk and those workstations and, all that stuff with the compressor in there, the spray washer, all the tools that you see behind me, all this crap goes in there. So we'll see. It should be, granted, it's not going to be done this end of this week. If we would have gotten sunshine, it would have been pretty darn close. The concrete would have been done, probably most of the painting. I probably would have been done with the building per se, which I probably could have got out one more video. But the inside of everything done and the tools and the pricing and all that stuff. But like I said, pretty much it's between 130 and 140,000 baht for the building, and about 96,000 for the solar, and then a separate deal which is 40,000 basically for that runway up the front and the labor to do it. So the whole thing with all the concrete work with a full 6.5 kW solar system, the underground power brought out there, the power brought over to my man cave in the pond, everything, electrical, everything in there. What would it be? Maybe 270, 280, something like that. But I'll do a whole breakdown on it. I've got everything in this book here, every little dime that I spent. So, hey, Cobus, how you doing? Bobby, 82%. What is this? Bobby Crush is what? 82.6% of statistics are made up on the spot. What did I miss? What did somebody make up? Or did I make something up? You never know. But so I figured I'd, like I said, I bailed out because of, and I'll show you. You guys can see it, but you can see the puddling, and it's that way all the way out. That's the part we were going to do, and the little bit that comes out to that Coke bottle or water bottle that's on a stick there, and goes straight across. And that's like I said, so I can back the trailer in under the cover, disconnect it, pull up here, and then pull up and then back where the wheelbarrow is, still being on concrete, and back it into the 9x9 roll up door on the garage, my truck. So my truck will be out, and then my space will be approximately 21 feet by about 11, 12 feet wide. Plenty of area for me to have a little work, do something. I want to do that trailer and all that kind of stuff. How are you doing, Cobus? Um, let's see. Yeah, rainy season. Yeah, no. And like I said, what really kind of aggravates me a little bit, Andy, is these guys, they just screwed around for 3 days. And I said, you guys got sunshine. There was no the ground was completely dry, no problem, and they probably would have had to make 2 pours on it, and probably one day and then the next day. But they had 3 days, and they don't understand. They don't care. And to a certain extent, that's a fixed price for doing it. But it would have been nice because I want to walk on concrete. I don't want to walk in mud to get out there to do something. Because the first thing I want to do is roll the shadow in, because I got some drag pipes that I want to put on it. The all new chrome for the handlebars, the reservoir for the brakes and the brake lever and all that kind of stuff. I got all new chrome put on, and then just go through the bike. I guess I'm gonna. I still haven't got a hold of him. I got to find out. He must have lost his phone or something. So he's only right around the corner. I just got to go over there and see if he wants to do it, because it's no big deal if he doesn't. But he said that the pipes were the problem. Either too much back pressure, not enough back pressure, whatever it is, he couldn't dial it in with the pipes. So what I figured I'd do, I'll either give him the pipes and let him finish the original job that he wanted to do, or I'll just put the pipes on, and I'll make the adjustments. I'll have to get some jetting. I bought extra jetting that I gave to him just in case I need it. If I don't need it, I don't care. It's not like I'm going to make a bunch of modifications to that shadow. The 750, the 45 cubic inches is, I can see why people say it's a perfect bike for a beginner or something like that. It has plenty of power. It rides really nice. It's light. It sits almost exactly like my '08 Dyna. Half the weight, but half the power, or maybe even less than half the power. But I'm happy. The sounds there. I give you that little Jonesing for that pop. And I just want to get out and ride it. I'd like to take it somewhere. Although, now in the season that we're in, not that it's one thing I've ridden in, freezing rain and snow and, rain, cold, and to ride in a little bit of rain when it's still 85 degrees out. It's like, that's like nothing. So, but there's no reason for it. I don't need to get out there and ride. I mean, I get plenty of, so like right now I could go out and probably go on a nice 2 hour ride, maybe jam over to Buriram and back. But I want to do it, but I want the concrete there so I can roll the bikes and stuff. I'm not rolling the bikes through the mud. Not that I even could. The forms and stuff are there. So anyway, so that's the reason I canceled today at 8:00 a.m. for the live stream. I knew I was going to treat the fish, and I knew that they were coming. I treated the fish. That worked out. Them putting any concrete down didn't. And so I was just sitting here, made myself, excuse me, I got a cup of coffee here too. Made myself some lunch, and myself cup with my instant coffee, which I've kind of gotten accustomed to. I don't know. Can you guys see that? Look at that. Like a tornado in a cup. My wife. That's the second one she's got me. The other one's over there It took the crap. Anyway, so that's it. As Cobus or Richard was saying, it that's about it. We went to Bangkok. My wife right now, the other day in a live stream, I told everybody that uh, NT, TOT, CAT, which TOT is where my wife worked for 20 years, is for the government internet company. CAT is a government internet company. About 2 or 3 years ago, I think, a couple of years ago, both TOT and CAT became one, and it's called NT. And they're obviously affiliated with the government. They're obviously they want to do something, or they're doing it right now. We gave some money. We did take some money that we got from the Gotta Love Thailand, the the stuff that goes to my wife, the AdSense account. I think 1,200 baht, and had one donor that donated. I don't know if they want to know. If they want to be known, they can let me know, and I'll tell you. But 500 baht, and her. I don't know if you guys are subscribe or friends of mine on Facebook, but my wife and the oldest went to look like Macro or Big C and got a bunch of stuff for the soldiers. So they're not filming anything because they don't want to know their locations and obviously that kind of stuff. So they're out today going in the Sisaket area, the Sarin area, and the Ubon area. And I don't know how many locations. I'll ask her. I'm still going to do a live stream tomorrow. I'll ask her tonight or today when she comes back. And find out how it all went. But if you look on my Facebook, I think I shared it. You'll see a cart full of all sorts of stuff, water and I don't know, all sorts of crap. But she's excited to do that, and that money's for hers to do to people in Thailand. And what could be more for doing people? We usually do the kids, but soldiers that are putting their life on the line to keep us. She had a phrase there that Thailand what loves peace but ain't afraid of war. My wife's a trooper, man. She we were going down the road. A lot of Cambodians here, which I thought was they come over. They don't get along very well, but they come over here and they go to the Big C and the Macro and they just buy crap loads of food and then they go back to Cambodia because they can buy it cheaper here in Thailand. But I thought they maybe would slow down, and my wife put obscenities out the window we drove by the car, which I thought was it's all right. But I told her you shouldn't do that. That's a horrible thing to do. But I guess Cambodia and Thailand. I don't know all the history. I'm not a history buff, but I guess they've been going back and forth at each other for since the dawn of time, pretty much. This is our land. No, it's our land. No, it's their land. It might be the ours. It should have been theirs. It has to be ours. Crap, But she's doing what my wife does best, buying stuff and giving it to giving it to Thai people. Which like I said, since we got together, has she benefited by being with me? Of course she has, and she'll be the first one to admit it. And I'm the first one to admit that I wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for her taking care of me and all that shit. And I'm pretty open about it. But she's been doing that from the beginning. It was from the beginning of when we actually monetized. I told her I'm going to put the AdSense account in yours. I have to pay taxes on it, and so does she. So we pay twice taxes on it, but it's only like I think last year it was like $1,600. It rounds up about, depending on how good of the year, about $100 a month, which is awesome. I mean, but she never thought that she would have the chance to do that, and she's just excited as hell about it. Like to be able to go out with her daughter and buy stuff to give to people. I mean, she's in heaven, man. Hey Daniel, how you doing? But yeah, so she's doing that right now. Like I said, I don't think maybe I can. Let me see. I shared it. Can I share it? I have to take that down probably. Let me go to Facebook. Let me go to mine. Let me go. There it is. I don't know how many pictures. Can I pull that up? Uh, yeah, I can do that, I think. All right, let me come back and try to work my magic. Stop sharing. Present. Share screen. Share screen. It's on a Facebook. Yes, there it is. There we go. Can you guys see that? I don't know. What is that? What is Protect? Is that milk? And it looks like some kind of hand lotion and maybe deodorant. And I don't know. Let me make sure you guys can see it. Oh, you guys can see it. Let me get, yeah, can I get even smaller? Yeah, there you go. I don't know what this is. People talking to her, I guess. But I'll just do it real quick, just so you guys can. Let me see. Where am I? Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. It looks like deodorant, Coke. What is that? Some kind of. I don't know. That I think is milk or something. You guys let me know. Or maybe it's that yogurt. There's some lime juice, some coffee. Looks like maybe fish sauce and something else sauce. Yeah. So anyway, um, enough of that. But anyway, let me bring back up the my cameras just for the hell of it. Where are you? StreamYard. No, that didn't work. Oh, I don't. You guys don't need to see that anyway. Hey, I was just talking about you, Kenny. It's happened to me 3 times, and at Lasada. And one time for almost 50,000 baht for that battery, and I got it back in like there. It used to be almost automatic. Now they've got a new way to do it, and you've got to wait, and it's got to be analyzed by them. I've had it before in the past where they just, yep, it's fraud, all right, and boom, like I got the same thing. I got the same white package. I didn't even get. I got a doll once. I got a Marks a Lot once, and on this one was a little thing of maybe 2 or 3 Kleenexes, and I put it in my hand, and I this was for a 32-inch monitor, and I said the same thing to the lady because 2 times they denied me the refund, and what the deal was on this one, they Lasada's got to they finally settled with me this morning, but they have to put the money out. They couldn't get it back from these people. They're already gone. We punished them. I said I don't give a shit about punishing them. I want my money. It was 3,500, almost 3,600 baht, and I'm on a 32 here. I just ended up going in town and buying it. But I did said the same thing to her. I said that your genius is there. I mean, you don't have to be genius. It's a little white envelope that fits in my hand. It's worth 5 baht. It's not a 32-inch monitor. And Kenny, in his latest, uh, oh God, my mind's gone. In his latest video, he addresses that problem. Uh, but yeah, so yeah, it happened. But the lady was really nice. I told her I was agitated the 4 or 5 times that I talked to him over the past 2 weeks. But with the lady, I said, you can tell I'm a little agitated, but it's not your fault. And I know it's not your fault. And I just want you to know that you're a very nice lady, but I'm really starting to get aggravated. But in that tone, just like that, I didn't raise my voice. I didn't do anything. Yeah, and that's about right now. If I was to go in and got something like that and I press the deal, which you just went through, and it comes up, you press the thing, suspected fraud. I usually send them 2 pictures and a little video of me opening it or something. And usually with the new process, with the old process, I got it back that day. Simple, easy. And I was telling you guys too, which I was really happy with, was I bought a big giant toolbox, which I was gonna get. I knew it was gonna be a little package. I think they gave me the doll on that one, but that one was 5,000 baht. That one I bought from them off of Facebook. But what I did was, and I'm saying this again so you guys will know, I I remember looking on I have Chase back, and they have a dispute thing and this and that. I uh, I went on there before I even started digging into it and trying to find that and doing this and doing that. I went straight to my bank app on my phone and found that deal, put it on there, and disputed it. And they said why, and I said because they're thieves and blah blah blah. I got an email back 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later. Your money will be returned within 2 to 3 days. That's it. Right through Chase. Didn't even have to. have to do anything else. So I was really amazed with that too. But now with the new, like I said, the new thing that they're doing, after you click that and after you set it in, it takes 2 days. It took 2 days for them to refuse me, but it would have been. I guess it could have. I don't know for sure. I shouldn't say that because it could have been the 2 days for that. Then once they approved it, it could take 3 days more, depending on if you have them send it to your wallet, which I can't get. I can't get that freaking for 3 years. I've been trying to in that circle, get it to believe me on my passport, and I can't get it to do it. And I've talked to them. Oh yeah, that's the only way you can do it. But I haven't put it in my Lasada. It goes immediately into the wallet. And then there's a place on the app there too that you click it, transfer it, and it's in my bank account within 10 seconds. It's back in my bank account. So keep that in mind too. Uh, yeah, I bought a bunch of stuff though, and I haven't been. That was the first time. That was the first time that I bought my 7DD, my Canon 10-15 lenses, motorcycles. I bought the Shadow off of Facebook Marketplace. I bought the little that little Grom off of I mean, I bought a crap load of stuff, and that was the first time, and I knew it before I even did it, Andy. That's how stupid I am. I mean, I knew it was going to be like you always say. It's a true fact. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. So just the pricing. When you get on the stuff, if they're like all the monitors, I ended up paying 6,500 baht for this 32-inch curved gaming monitor. It's really nice. The other ones, those exposed 27s, they were junk. They didn't even last a year. But it was like 3,600 that one. Another one was 5,000, and those are the ones that they. And I understand them, but they don't realize that. What happens if I don't have any money? And that this was all I had. I've been saving to get this monitor, and I put it in there. And you guys took 3 weeks to finally cancel it, because you didn't have it in the first place. And one of them I even asked, "Do you have this in stock?" "Oh yes." No. And but then 3 weeks, and then take a week to get your stuff back. It's a month. So I mean, if you don't have any money, and that was your allotment, you had 5,000 to spend, you have no more money, you're screwed. You can't get anything, and not even buy something else. So anyway, yeah, there's a link. You don't even have to get a hold of them. There's a link in the bear's staring at me. There's a link in the app that you go on at the wallet, and it says to empty it out or whatever. You click that, it asks you what bank account you want it to go. I have a bank account tied to Lasada. Do you want it to go to this one? Yes. Boom. And from the time that I hit that button and go to Chase and open up the app, the money's there. So we'll have to see. So now, if you're using like I use occasionally, I'll use my bank card, not even my credit card from Chase, but just my regular bank card. And if they do that, they'll want to send it back to that card. If I used it out of my Thai bank, because I have Thai bank account, 2 Thai bank accounts, and there's been a bunch of talk about that. In case you guys were wondering, and this is my impression on that. When I first got here, they told me over and over and over again I could not get a bank account as a tourist on a tourist visa. 7 years ago, boom, on my own, couldn't speak Thai. Started asking people at the bank, Bangkok Bank, which is the one that everybody's saying is pulling people's bank accounts and stuff, which isn't true, and not giving them money. I think what they're doing, and I don't know for sure, check and do your due diligence. You're supposed to have a long stay visa to be able to get a Bangkok in Thailand. Supposed to. Well, they're starting to firm up on that because there's a lot of, I hate to say it, Chinese people that are scamming and getting bank accounts and doing magic with their crap, and they just so happen to be Chinese, the ones that I heard of. And so they're trying to put it, get rid of everything they can. So, I mean, they haven't even sent me anything saying we might get rid of we're thinking about, nothing. So if you've got a long-term visa and you have a bank account here in Thailand, I wouldn't worry about it. Check for yourself, but I wouldn't worry about it. My wife only uses Shopee. She won't use Lazada. And me with Shopee, they won't give me. Did they give you an account? They won't give me, like, I can't open an account at Shopee in Thailand. Now, I don't know if it's because the whatever I'm using isn't. I don't know. They won't do it. Did you get one? Do you have an act like your Lazada account? Do you have an account there with your bank card and your sign in and password and all that? Because I haven't been able to. Haven't really tried to crack that egg, but the couple of times that I did try, they wouldn't do it. But some Shopee stuff is cheaper. My wife likes it, and you guys, these shirts are freaking awesome. They're that quick dry stuff. I just asked my wife the other day, can you get me 5 more of those shirts? I like them a lot, and they're just cooler. And she did. She got me a bunch of them. I like the pattern she picked out. They came in 2 days, or the next day. It was really quick, quick, quick. 250 baht. So for these shirts, button up, nice shirts. I mean, they're dress shirts. You can golf in this shirt. Uh, and it was 250 baht, which is what, 3, 6, I don't know, 7, 8, 750. What is it? Man, kind of horrible. What was the exchange rate? Anybody know? I didn't check it today. Let's see. Come on, Mr. Exchange Rate. Where are you? Ah, dang it. Gold now. Gold is, where is gold at? 51,480 a baht. 32.6. So if that's the case, what do we got? And these are well-made shirts. They're not junk. They're real nice. So what did I say? 250 divided by 32.6. $7.66. I mean, I'm going to tell her to buy 5 more. I think this is a size 4 or 5. Though 6 or I think it's a 4. I had a 5 or a 6, and it's just too big. This one fits perfect. They send you everything COD, which would be fine with me. Well, I just have to leave money with my in-laws. I get stuff comes from Lazada pretty much every day. I just ordered today. What did I order? I ordered a microscope. I have a microscope for when I scrape the koi. It only has just a screen on it. It's okay, but it's hard to see sometimes, and I just bought another one. And so it's coming, and it's a regular dual eye, but it does have a deal that you put in one of the eyes, and it will plug into the computer, and I could see it up on this screen. And so that should be here. I bought that. That was 4,500 baht. I spent more than I wanted to, but I'm trying to get on a budget because I haven't been on a budget ever, except for the first month that I was here in Thailand, where I was budgeting 2,500 baht a day, and I spent like 600 or something. But anyway, I got to get on a budget because otherwise I'll just spend, and I don't need to. Yeah, Temu I buy from, but I have an account with them. How did I just look? I set up Temu and Shopee and some Pit's name. Yeah, and it doesn't like. I don't think it likes white people. I hate to say that, but I my wife didn't have any problem getting an account. So I don't know, but I'm just another thing that I was gonna rap a little bit about because I don't want anybody to go political and go crazy or anything. But I'm just not proud to be an American watching in L.A. Man, it just right there. I was there when Rodney King thing. I told you about. We had the bar in Simi and 250 people in there that night, and they were threatening to come to Simi Valley and kill people and do this. And my bouncer said, Dave, I don't know, what do you want me to do? Everybody's got a gun. I said, screw it, let them in, let them shoot each other, man. I had mine behind the bar, but isn't it always Los Angeles, or do they do it a lot of other places? I guess, but it's just like anything to riot and loot. They go together like I don't understand it, man. It's like, oh, it's okay. We're rioting, so it's acceptable to just break into our neighbors' businesses and steal shit from them. They'll get it from insurance or something. You know, it thoroughly amazes me, disgusts me. When I look at it and go, I feel like if I was out and about right now and somebody said, "Well, where are you from?" France. I'm from France. They hate French people too, but I just don't know, man. Am I just a complete moron, or does anybody feel? And forget about your Democrat, Republican, anything that you are. Are you embarrassed of the crap that these people do? I don't understand. That's why, thank God, I'm very happy that the Thai government and people allow me to call Thailand my home. Yeah, I'm not proud to be a Californian. Yeah, I should say that instead of an American, right? Just unbelievable. Hey, Craig, what's up? Nothing. I was just talking about, not, um, politically or anything. I'm just, I see these people, and like I said, I was there for most of the stuff, Rodney King and all that, and the guy with the brick and the thing. Everything was right. It's 15 miles from me, and it just I just don't understand. You want to go loot and steal and go to jail? Okay, but don't do it because, like, oh, good, there's a good riot going on. Let's break up our neighbor's shit. Let's burn their stuff to the ground. I don't understand. I was always like, go, Hey, it's entertainment for me watching it. And hey, burn up your own neighborhood. Stab your neighbor in the neck. Whatever you want to do. Just stupid people. I'm thoroughly amazed throughout the years in my short time on this planet how many stupid people there are. And there's a bunch of them. God, just not logical, stupid as hell, say stupid things, do stupid things. And it's been my deal that you cannot do anything to change them. You can't beat the stupid out of them. You can't do anything. They're still stupid. They're just stupid people. I don't know. France is going to be. Maybe I shouldn't have said France. My cousin, the only thing that I could say about that, the one French guy that I saw at the I think I told the story a couple of times at the trying to get a visa, and I'm just shaking my head and looking at my wife, and the officers are just smiling, and I'm going, they ain't ever going to give this guy a visa. He's screaming. His Thai wife or girlfriend could speak French, and she's trying to defuse the situation. But when my cousin went on when he was married the first time or second time, I don't know. Anyway, he went to Wales and over into Europe, and he said out of all the places that he went to, he was only treated rudely in France. Now, whether that happens to a lot of people, I don't know, but it happened to him, and it always stuck in my mind. No, I can't fix stupid, Paul. It's impossible. Believe me, I tried. It just doesn't work. So what I dig that. I haven't been able to watch all your videos, Craig. Between you and Kenny, you guys you're doing what you should be doing if you want to build a YouTube channel. You should be putting out stuff damn near every day. But the rolling roof, are you going to grow weed in there or something, or what is that? What is that roof? What is that roof for? I was just curious. I watched part of your one the other day. I think the last two have been how you screwed up and tried to put it on once, and how you mastered it the second time. And I didn't even get to watch all of both of them, but I was just curious. It was in my mind right now, so I thought I'd bring it up if you're still here. But yeah, because I just don't understand how they can grow weed here during like the rainy season. I don't see how it's possible. I mean, the buds that I grew were bigger around than a baseball bat, you know, and any kind of high moisture content would just rot the inside of the buds. They were useless. Um, I was in a controlled room, controlled environment, but here the only way that I could see you doing it is in a greenhouse. You still got the 12 and 12 pretty much all the time, so you'd have to have a way of giving them extra light, um, uh, for vegging and stuff or whatever. I guess just roll them outside or something. But you'd have to have a controlled environment. I don't see how they do it. I'd like to visit. I think it was Douglas. Was it Douglas that said that he had or was it you, Craig, that said that you had a weed farm, or right up the street, a weed farmer? I guess a big one or something. I don't know if it was you or if it was Douglas. Let's see. So, wow, we've already been on for 41 minutes. But, so I don't know. So I figured I'd come on. I didn't know if anybody, because in the United States, it's late, isn't it? I don't even know. I'm horrible on time. Although I did put it in my phone. Come on. It is 11:02 and 2 o'clock on the East Coast. So anybody that watches in the States probably out. But Trouble is stupid can do 6-1-4s nowadays and get a position of authority. You're probably right. It just um, I don't know. I was watching. God, I forget his name. Andy will know. What's the guy's name that I like? I gave him. What did I give him? 100 baht. The bald guy, the boxer. I like him. You went and saw him, and I think um, God, I can't. Something in America. He's a Farang in America. I like him. I saw him today. He was on today, and I watched him. I gave him 100 baht. But he was talking about the Farangs that how stupid some of them are to cause problems and all that kind of shit. And my biggest thing too with them is they are stupid, and they need to be. Someone ought to interject themselves if they're in that. If it was me and some guy was acting badly towards a Thai person, especially, I think I would have to try to at least diffuse the situation. Maybe I get myself in more trouble, but I'd probably do it. But what it is I noticed when that. Now I heard somebody brought up that, or one of the guys, I think it was Tim, on whatever his channel is, the news guy, I'm horrible with names, said that the guy that hit that doctor lady or whatever, that they threw it out. Well, I guess her attorney or their attorney brought it back in, and the guy's has to do a month in Yale, but I think they said he boogied. But it's like after that incident, whatever it was, a year ago or something. And I feel totally comfortable every place I've been here in Thailand, but I could tell just a little bit different. Thai people looked at me, people I didn't know, obviously. I could tell it was a little bit different. Like, is this guy an asshole? Could he be an asshole too? And it just makes it bad for other people just trying to enjoy themselves. I mean, I was young and dumb and full of it, but I don't know. I see that these guys out there are older guys, and older when I'm saying, in their 40s, and it's like, really? You're gonna get that drunk? Yeah, I don't know. Again, stupidity. But I can't remember his name, but I like him. He was talking today about Ricky Drama, and Ricky Drama actually went up on him when I was watching one in a coffee shop, and he was kind of standoffish to him and stuff. But never had a problem with Thai people. Never. The low budget solar turns out after 2 hours in the dark last night. I can tell you right now, it's pretty much done right now. And I think and like I said, depending on what you want to do, Kenny, you can put in a 4.2 system, a little bit cheaper. Obviously, you're not going to have as many panels, and that kind of stuff. But they make that same Power Mister or Mister Power or whatever it is, Power Mister. They make a 4.2 that's 48 volt, which I like because the wire sizes are smaller and all that kind of stuff. But depending on what your bills are, which I don't think your bills are that high, might be something that you might want to do. Right now, I am at extra labor, battery, wire, um, right about 95,000. I've got 92,750 here, but I'd have to look at it closer and go back all the numbers. And that's with 200 amp hour batteries. And like I said, with mine, I'm going to do some testing on it, But every night, the way I reprogrammed the thing myself, I watched the video on YouTube, I read the manual, and I went back in there and checked it so that it uses solar panels, looks there first for power. That's not enough, goes to the batteries. If that's not enough, it goes to the grid. And now I have to find out, because usually I'm out of here at night. So this isn't doing much except residual, power being plugged in, nothing pretty much. But I want to see what the pond pulls. And I would imagine that pond probably pulls enough to where you could keep on, or me, a refrigerator, a TV, a fan, and maybe an air conditioner. Um, I'd have to see. I'm going to see how many watts I'm using. But those two batteries from when the sun goes down, it obviously doesn't have anything at the solar panels, but it does have those batteries, and it starts sucking it out of those batteries. And most of the time overnight, the batteries are still at 65%, not even down to 50%. And as soon as the sun pops up, boom, within an hour and a half, they're charged up to 100%. So, I would say that you could probably do the other ones about 4,000 or 5,000 cheaper. I would say you could do it for 80. Still, I would still keep the 40,000 baht in batteries, the 200 amp hour batteries. I'm going to say 85, because you give 45. Well, actually, I'm only at 5,000 watt or 6,000 watts. I'm at 6,000 watts, so it'd probably be a couple panels short. So yeah, I could sit down and try to do that. 27 a month. See, I would think that even with the 45, I would get the 62. Just who knows? All of a sudden, the wife has 45 people that want to move in with you. I'm just screwing with you. But maybe it goes up. Maybe see, my biggest thing is that they can charge us whatever they want. They charge me double in Upon because they don't have any electricity out there. I got electricity, but like I said, if I'm running an air conditioner and I try to take a hot shower, the lights dim. Ooh, So and I've got 6 air conditioners out there. So anyway, but I would say that the system would definitely, you would eat that bill. I don't think that'd be a problem at all. And I would say how much, from my understanding, was 300. Somebody had told me and did the calculation, said that 300 amp hours would do 8 hours of 2,600 watts, which if you've got a high efficiency 1-ton air conditioner somewhere where you can go in there, because you can put on whatever you want, shut off whatever you want, keep the refrigerator on, and then when the power comes back on, just turn on what you want. So I would think you'd have at least 8-10 hours, depending on how some people, I think you and Thai people, they get by with the fan. Certain times of the year I can, other times I got to have air conditioning. But I'm going to do it on both systems. So I'm going to, once he's done there, once I've got everything set up, maybe in a month, I'm guessing, when everything's calmed down, then I'll shut this room off completely, shut off the grid, and probably disconnect the batteries and get a true reading on, or I couldn't do that, one or the other. I'll leave the grid on, get a true reading on how many watts I'm using for the pond, how many watts I use here with the air conditioner going, and the computers and everything on, which I don't think is much. This is a high efficiency air conditioner too. So anyway, I would think you wouldn't have any bill. And like with me, well, what's the payback? I don't know, and do I care? I like the idea of knowing right now I'm sitting here with my air conditioner on, all these computers on, the monitors and everything, the pond running, and it's not costing me a dime. I like that. Yeah, for sure. Just let me know. I'm planning on just laying low. I gotta I gotta figure out that budget. I think I'm trying to find something that I could find, because I'll do a little bit of traveling, and that. I'm thinking like 25,000 baht for me, or 30, one of those two numbers. But I'm not going to go too far. Thank you, appreciate it. But um, you love me. You must be uh, from what was it, Denmark, or no? Anyway, yeah, Kenny, for sure. Let me know for sure. Come on by. We'll wrap. We'll look at it. And like I said, man, the only thing I'm doing the tie-in, which um, you might be able to figure it out and what you're doing. Like on this, it's all new. So the breakers that I brought and put in for here and here are ones I put in. To tie it into your complete housing system, I don't know how you would do that. I don't know if you have to have a transfer switch or whether you just tie the whole thing in there. I don't know, but that may probably something you could probably look up and do some research. Turkey, how you doing? No, I haven't actually. But I would I would wholeheartedly, like I said, when I sit in my trailer and the air conditioner is running and it's not costing me a dime, puts a smile on my face. It's going to take me, you know, forever to pay off my trailer. Well, I paid cash for it, but I don't care. And like I said, the biggest thing was 14,500 baht electric bill here. I know if I croak that my wife, no way in the freaking world is she going to pay 14,000 baht. She only makes 20,000 or something a month, so that's why I originally put it in there. That one cost me, I think I could do that one now for 200, maybe less. 200, and it would cost me 300. What, 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. So it's getting cheaper and cheaper. Manuals fix when I build. Yeah, and that would work, I'm sure. But like I said, there's got to be a way that it can be tied in, and then you just isolate the stuff off. Because I got to do the same thing here. I got my pond on this one now, so I know this system. That system I don't really know all that well. But what I want to do is I want to shut off the grid. I want to see how long the 200 amp hour batteries last me with what's on them, and then shut them down. Because all I need is the living room air conditioner, a fan in the living room, the internet, the TV in the living room, and the refrigerator. And I'm guessing that on 200 amp hours, I would like to double what I've got because the batteries are coming down and down and down. I would say, I'm guessing somewhere between maybe 5 and 6 hours with an air conditioner, because the air conditioner in there is a 2 ton. The refrigerator, once the refrigerator, if you're not open and close it, it's not going to cycle very often. TV pulls very little. A fan pulls very little. That little, I think you've got the battery box deal. Mine's the older style, I think. Anyway, the other night the power went out, came back on, or didn't go out. I had a problem with the solar system. He came over the next morning, or he came out later that night and fixed it, or early that night and fixed it. But it was off for like about 2 or 3 hours, and I had a fan and plugged it into my little battery box, thing, and I let it go all night. It ran 14 hours on high, so that little thing's awesome to have too. Into yours, you have the same. I think you have the newer one though, right? I think. Hey Al, how you doing? Glad you could make it. Just kind of an improv too. Is that a word? Deal here. I was supposed to do one this morning. Had rain. I didn't. I still haven't brought that up. I want to cancel that. How come I cannot find this? Let me see. There it is. Okay, let me do that. Let me do this. I was supposed to do. I have some fish that I'm medicating right now, and I'm supposed to pour some concrete. There it is, and you can see as I go into this now. Hold on. Let me hide this. Let me go here, and you can see how the water has puddled. So it might be nice bird. It might be a few days before they're going to be able to get a truck in here. That's if it doesn't rain anymore. But we are in rainy season, so it could be 2 or 3 days. It could be 2 or 3 weeks. It could be 2 or 3 months. I don't really know. That same bird just landed in the tree over here. Oh, what kind? It looks like a parrot or something. Kind of a cool looking bird. Anyway, so I didn't cancel. I made it tomorrow on the live stream. Uh, Switched it from this morning to tomorrow. Treated the fish, but I don't have to go out there for about another hour. I'll have to go out there and put peroxide, neutralizes the potassium permanganate, which heals the wounds and kills bugs and stuff that are on fish. And um, and I'll do a little video on that deal. I might even do a little one for the koi people, and then you guys could watch it if you want to. Do something starting in here talking about koi and going out there and doing it anyway. Yeah, yeah. And how long did it? Or have you tried a test and seen how long it'll run the refrigerator? I did it on my little ice chest, our refrigerator ice chest, and it'll run that thing. I think 48 hours, a small one, a couple of days, something like that, depending on how much you open and close it. And those things aren't that Appalachia or something, the cheapo ones that I've had for 2 or 3 years now. They work fine, but till the power came back on, it said 3 hours. So, well, that's good. I mean, that's good to know anyway. But like I said, if you put in, and they even make a smaller system, they make a 3.2 um, system that is 24 volt, which is still okay. The wire sizes are still considered. That's what the same system that I have. Well, similar to the system I have in the trailer. So, I mean, there's stuff that you could pick, and you could save money here and there. The panels you could find. You wanted to do budget wise. I mean, there's even panels that you can buy that are used. Um, there's a bunch of different ways you could go. The biggest thing is buying the racking, and you would probably go up on the roof and mount them yourself. You can mount them right on the top of your garage deal there, or at least over the top of your covered carport outside area there. You got plenty of room. But and to get up on there, and that's semi flat too, if I'm remembering. It's not like a 12-on-1 pitch or something. But uh, but if you did that and mounted them, and with mine, they came out of the side, and I put them in series. So you got to know how much you do it. They can only be so much on the VOC and blah blah blah, but it's all cut and dry. And then you just plug them together. So they were sitting here. So I just came and plugged this one into this one, and this one into this one, and this one into this one. And then when I got down to the end of the one row, I went down to the panel, or he did, and then the other row came the other way and went down, and all in series. If you do them uh, um, the other way, which my mind's gone, you got to have a joiner box and a bunch of other crap. But on the smaller systems, you can get away with putting them all together. Yes, I install. Yeah, the intent of installing panels on that roof. Yeah, I mean, it would be if you saw how easy it was, you'll see it here. But I mean, I even bought that breaker box that was made for that panel, and it was $90, 3,000 baht, and all you did was mount it there. You have a video on YouTube on how to wire it in and bring it in your grid and blah 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 blah. Easy, easy, easy. Battery to the big breaker in there, out of the battery into the box. From the grid into that box, out of that box into the controller, out of the controller into that box, out to a fuse panel. It's simple. Those all in one deals, and that thing's only this big. It's small. Let me put this back up. Let's see what Ubon. You guys want to see what Ubon looks like? There's only 80 in here. Let's see what Ubon looks like. Let's see what the pond looks like in Ubon. See what the pool looks like. Oh, that is plain. Ubon pond. Where's the Ubon pond? I can move that around too. Let's go on a tour. And there's my solar well set up back there, Kenny. I don't know if you can see that. 3 panel. Oh, that's a little too close. 3 panels, and then one of those tanks is 1,000 liters, and the other one's 1,500 liters. And then I got a big 2-inch line that runs out to the pond, so that I can fill the pond. And there's my one and only lily pad that I know about. Looks like it's growing. I hope I want to take it over. The koi should usually, they like to eat that crap, you know. But I haven't had any problem. The water actually seems to be not as murky as it was. I don't know if you watched that one video that I had on the koi, but they're getting big, man. Like I said, they're in the 45, 50 centimeter range, like the ones that I got, and they're big, man. They're big. All right, let's see. Get back over here. I like to leave it right here because there's a light right in that tree, and then I can get at night. I can get down in here like this and watch them feeding on bugs and all sorts of stuff. Ubon side. Come on. Come on. Oh, there we go. They're starting to grow rice. That's our rice field, that closest one right on the other side of those are those mangoes? I think we had 6 mangoes. We just put those in, so I guess they're getting there. But look like they flooded. It looks like he planted. It looks like it's been planted. It did have. He grew a whole crap load of Thai chili, uh, which was interesting. Let's go to the other side. That's up the front. That's part of that. I wish I would have had that piece across the street. It's actually, I think, owned by a family member. Let's see. Let's go in the living room. We'll eavesdrop and see if there's anybody running around. No. Couch. No. And Ubon back. There's not. This thing could be, that Thai kitchen is probably, oh man, 14, 15 feet by 18, 20 feet deep under the roof. And then that other side over there, the parking is huge too. And then it's got the bathroom there. Uh, Inside there too, there's a washing machine and a pier on the wall, urinal, I guess that's the correct word, and then a regular toilet. And then that back door right there where the steps are, that leads into the 1-bedroom apartment. So it's interesting. Okay, I think that's it for Ubon. Surin. Let's see, Surin Pool is already on here. Where's it at? There it is. He did some work over here. I got to clean this up. He put that orange box. Anybody know what that is? Can you see that, Kenny? You know what that is? I don't know. 1,800 baht, whatever it was. And I was having problems with, that's the one for my house. The little one down there is the one for the house. The one round one is the one for goes around out of my well, which is the top 2 tanks. And that one that has a rag over it is a refurbished backup, just in case that one takes a crap. But yeah. And of course, we'll have to look at koi pond, right? There they are. Hello, girls and guys. They're getting quite big too. They're hungry right now. But I'm going to do some modifications on that a little bit. I'm going to do that little video and show you guys the my father-in-law finally came home. He's been living over at the other house. That's a whole nother story. But I'll do that, a little video on that. Some people might be interested. The way that I set it up, I've got some insights on the little pump that I put in. Is tremendous little deal. It's tiny, tiny, tiny. But I noticed that I put a bottom drain in there, and I probably should have took a picture of that. Maybe I'll drain. I got to drain some water down in it anyway. I'm sitting here rambling. I don't even know if there's anybody left in the chat. Anybody here? Solar Well on my to-do list. And the guy that I bought my he sell the guy that I bought my panels and actually the solar stuff and the batteries from is in Surin, or actually about 15 minutes. It's actually, I think, Buriram, but it's about 15 minutes from my house. And the guy was really fair, but his biggest, I mean, his place is huge. That's why I liked it. The panels that I bought were kind of pricey. I could have bought cheaper panels. And these are, I think, 25-year warranty. And the guy's property is huge. It's his whole family. And it's got ponds on it that he's got well pumps and everything out there pumping out and fountains and all sorts of stuff. But I got kind of the impression big on solar, but mainly poor Bear wants in big time. I'll let him in. Mainly, or one of his biggest things is pumps and setting up and selling everything all together. As far as hold on a second. Come on, big boy. Okay, sit down. Sit down. No, go lay down. He wants to shake my hand. But his main thing, I think, is he sells like the rack that the three panels sit on, but you could build your own. But they're really simple systems. Also, I'm sure you've probably already checked into it. What lines are they on the pool pump? What lines are they on? You mean the pool pump? The pool pump's on this house, on my Surin house, if that's what you're asking. Uh, I should probably change it over to this other one too, but I don't know. I might make a couple other changes. He wants me to add. This system still isn't working up to the way that I think it should be working. Still here. All right, cool. Thanks, Paul. But yeah, so I don't know. I think it's worth. Like I said, if you've got the money, I think you could probably do it, especially with you DIYing it. Um, you know, for what you got, you might only need one battery. That's 20,000 instead of 40. You might get away with a little system. It's maybe 5,000. No, 4,000 cheaper with the panel. Maybe 5,000 cheaper. So I would still. We could sit down when you come. By all means, the orange box. That what pool is it on? What line? That's on the lines for the house, not the pool pump. The line for my house system. I guess I've been having some kind of problems with them. I don't know, but I would definitely suggest it. Like I said, man, it's and if you've got the money, that's a big. Everything's relative. Like I've said before, it's all relative to whether what you want to spend. If you've got the extra money and you're going to die with it in the bank, I just like I said, man, and nothing better than sitting in the house and have an air conditioner on and let's just watch a movie and let's Miranda out to the electrical box and the electrical box is just sitting there. It's not spinning and your refrigerator's on and your air conditioner's on and this is on and that's on and you're getting 0 baht a month bills. That's worth it to me. But yeah, so I don't know. He's got a. I bought 4 lights for the thing, and I guess just bought bay lights, but I guess they're not exactly what he wanted, or he's got to do some modifications or something for him. But I really wanted to do that because, like I said, I don't know if I said it here, but Sim wants to make extra money. I bought that spray deal, but I bought rollers and all that stuff. But she's one of those. She'd like to sleep in, and stay up and fart around till 2 o'clock in the morning on, whatever tiki taki or whatever the hell it is, and you know, it's cooler obviously at night. If we're not spraying, I'm just rolling. I mean, you could have the air conditioner put in, the air conditioner on, the lights are on. She could work out there from, from uh, sunset to whatever, work 2 or 3 nights and it'll be painted. But I'd like to get that done. It needs to be cleaned. I need to now. For me, it's like I said, it's a freaking. It's like going out there is like I'm gonna hurt myself. Now, how bad am I gonna hurt myself? I don't really know. But in a pair of thongs, walking out there in this crap, and then walking across this metal hog wire, I did it this morning 3 times to treat them with the medication I needed to treat them with. It is like a um, playing Russian, Russian roulette. It's not. It's not. Am I going to? It's when I'm going to, and I'm going to find out because they could sit in there a little bit longer. I'd like to neutralize it within the next half hour, but I don't know if they're going to be gone all day with the soldiers, or whether, like I said, they were going to Sisaket, they were going to Ubon, and they were going to Surin. So, I mean, if they made that loop, that's all day, I guess. So by the time she gets home, because I just tell Sim I've got the peroxide there at 6%, just put in 3 capfuls, and that's it. Let it run; it'll neutralize that potassium permanganate. Hey, Nanette, how you doing? Yeah, but I'm almost guessing that you're not going to have a problem. You'll be able to figure it out, and it'll be in a range where I think, like I said, I paid probably at least 1.5 times what I needed to. What I could have got other panels cheaper by almost half. Okay, so that's 10,000 right there. So like I said, the wire and stuff like that, you can order everything right off of Lasada. I mean, right there. And like I said, if either this guy or you can get Power Mister Power, whatever it is, that brand and that breaker box for that panel is 6.2, made by Mister Power too, right on off of Lasada. And I ordered all the wire and everything for the solar, and you can order if you laid it out on a piece of board, you'd know exactly how long your batteries cables are going to be. They even size everything up for you, from the battery to the 250 amp breaker, 2-aught wire, 12 over here, 8s over here, and blah blah blah. They've got a whole thing on their YouTube deal of how to install it, and like you said, you'll see. You sit down and the great thing about putting it on a board is that where and I'm imagining you're probably going to have it outside in the garage. You could bring it into the house and the air conditioning if it's hotter than the hubs of hell. Lean it up against the wall, pull up a rolling chair in front of it, mount the thing to it, mount the breaker deal, and just start cutting wire and and wiring it up. You know, so it extremely easy. Like I said, that part of it, the part about how you're going to incorporate it into the house existing system, that's where I don't know. Yeah, that's all. Well, you got plenty of time. You're retired, right? Uh, Plug and play. So no, yeah, it's easy, easy, easy. Like I said, you'll get into it once you start. Like I said, I don't know, man. It's just a different feeling when you can walk out to that spinning freaking nightmare on the pole out there. And what I was saying is, they could triple our electricity bills, which would bring you 9,000 baht. Now what? You know. So could you do it then? Probably. No one here in Thailand would, if the electricity went up that high, that they'd probably start ramping up the cost of solar panels and solar stuff. Probably. So I don't know. It just seems good time to do it, but I don't know. I mean, I don't think I'm going to be alive that long. But hell, if I live 15 years, which would be nice, I'd take that probably. Uh, but it could triple, in a couple 5 years or something. I don't know, you know. I know what it did in the valley, in America, for the, over a 10, 15, 20 year deal. Edison and stuff, they just like, I always had high electric bills, but that's a whole nother story. Doesn't feel, watching you, it doesn't look like it either. Yeah, the Wells plug and play. Yeah, and so is pretty much the other one. I think in the well one, it's just uh, a controller, and that's as simple as I don't have a battery or anything on mine. You can put a battery. Batteries are cheap now, so if you wanted it to be able to run whenever you want it, whenever it wants to, that 5,000 baht I think I paid for a 12-volt, 100 amp hour lithium ion phosphate battery. They're coming down. So they sell batteries too, this Mr. Power. But yeah, that's all you need is the solar, not the all-in-one, deal. Just the regular solar controller. They're cheap, and some wire. It is pretty much plug and play. Yeah, and that's what I would have. Same thing. Like I said, this one's pretty simple because we'll have the electrician all the time, but I didn't have anything. So I said, well, I want to, can you incorporate? And we put a breaker here, a little sub panel over here, run over here to power this up. Yes. Also, I said, keep in mind that I'm going to build a little 1 or 2 bedroom Thai style house, 1 air conditioner, 1 bathroom, one hot water deal, a refrigerator. That's pretty much it. Some plugs. So it's not going to be much. I want to tie it into that too. So he said, well, it depends on, they can, well, no, that's it. That's all they got. They don't use, my mother-in-law. It's expensive. She don't like running anything. They have got them to the point where they don't like sweating anymore. My mother-in-law will turn that air conditioner on, but it's taken over a year to get her to do it. Yeah, exactly. And Brock's pretty good on that shit too. There's a lot, yeah, and everybody will help everybody, no doubt. But I think Mark is that's basically his forte. I think. I wonder if he ever got. Did anybody know? Last time I saw him on Facebook, he was in a hospital. I wrote him, but I didn't see if he was back home. I didn't see if he was back. But yeah, I would definitely, like I said, and you could do it, like I said, cheap. But I would just, you're going to do your due diligence anyway. You're going to know. But if I had to guess, even if you put in a 6.2, just like I did, 100 or under, and that's what, excuse me, 200 amp hours of lithium phosphate batteries. A midget Coke Zero. Oh, doesn't say Coke. Who can read that? I can read Thai. I bet you 100 to 1 that says Coke. Somebody let me know. But it is nice having that well too. But like I said, mine, I like it an artesian well or some shit out there in Ubon. And my uncle said you run that thing all day into the well and into the pond, and it'll never go dry. Oh, Aussie Mark. There's another Mark, an Aussie Mark too, that lives in Rayong. I don't know if you've ever seen him on the on my live streams, but he just somehow they retired. They brought him back there to do big giant projects for the government. So, but there are a lot of people that'll help you out. The koi fish friend from okay. Yeah, and I like the idea. Like I said, once I know for sure, right now I know for sure that if I don't have anything running in here, and that's without a real test deal, 10, 12 hours that koi pond will run on 200 amp hours. So, but I want to break it down. It'll give me something to do. Once I get in there, I'll have a desk. I'll have this computer. I'll have a monitor. I'll have 2 workstations. One will be for koi. One will be for mechanics. These rolling, can't really see it with this up here. I got 2 of these carts full of insulated tools, drills, hole saws, tool kits, everything on a rolling deal. Tables, welder, a what do we call it? The spray washer, 2 spray washer. I got the cheapo ones that battery operated, and I got a real one. Um, Air compressor. I've got this big wheel deal that hooks up to the ceiling that pulls 30 feet out, so I don't have to worry about airline, everything. And I'm going to go over it all once I get in there. But once I'm in there, I can do whatever I want. Sit down, air conditioners on. I could run and turn this off and turn that on, and how many watts am I pulling and what am I doing, to where I've got a good feeling on exactly what. But because the way that he had it set up, it it burnt the batteries down, not burn them down, uh, exhausted them, and he didn't have the grid turned on. So when one day that was overcast, the batteries weren't 30-40% or whatever, and it went off that next morning at like 6 o'clock. When I changed it over, like I said, I put it priority, solar panels, batteries, grid. So mine will go on when it gets dark. Oh, we don't have no solar. We're going to use the batteries until they're down to a certain percentage. Then we'll kick the grid on. And there's other ways you can do stuff too. Like, oh well, it's really expensive grid power. At this time that it's going to be charging, you can tell it not to not to charge blah 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 or whatever during such periods of time. Grid charge your batteries. So anyway, there's a bunch of stuff that you can do with it, but it'll be nice to be out there. I really want to do that trailer. I really want to get the Shadow running. I really like that motorcycle. I'd like to know more about it. I don't think I'm going to go crazy enough to buy a nice roll-up air-powered stand motorcycle deal. I'd like to have one, but they're kind of pricey. But I will get maybe one of the ones that just jack up and can bring it up. I've got a Fat Man. Can you just see the red down here? That is a regular mechanics. Oh no, where are you? That's behind my cup. Yeah, you see it there with the red bottom, and it's just a regular mechanics stool, except it's made for big fat people. I think it's rated at 150 kilo, which it is, and the price difference is triple of what a normal one would be. And if I put my big hog body on a normal one, it would last, it wouldn't last very long. So I got that, and then I bought another chair that hadn't even been put together. Those two workstations, and I'll show you since we're sitting here just bullshitting. Let me see if I can pull up the workstations. My orders is it going to tell me? Oh no, good. I think I want to say it was 4. Let's see. Come on. What happened? Oh, you're shitting me. Do this again. Okay. Let's see if it goes there this time. Yes, it did. No, one more. I think 2 more. I think I've showed them to you before. They were. I thought they were fairly reasonable. There was other ones I didn't particularly like the color, but to get a black one and this one's red, it's like they wanted like 30-40 more dollars, the same exact thing. I'll bring it up here. Let me go and onto here. Let me get rid of this one. Let me add this one. Come on. Share screen. Boom, boom, boom. I wonder why I can't do more than one. Okay. This one here. So these are like 2 foot by 4 foot, I think. They've got two drawers. I bought a light that's pretty much 4 foot long LED that mounts underneath that overhang. That whole back is pegboard to hang, tools or whatever you want. And the thing is fairly well made. I've got 2 of those out there. Like I said, I'll set one workbench up for mechanic shit, and I got a table too, and one of the rolling tool deals to have something that I can put parts on so they don't get lost when I'm taking them apart. But I think it'll be I think it'll be cool. And that was like 29. The other one was like 4,000 or something. It was ridiculous. So anyway, but I don't know. It's gonna be nice to be able to do it. I don't like working on shit where uh, I don't have the right tools. Nothing can get me aggravated. A woman and not having tools to fix something are probably two of the things that can get me upset the quickest. Men, they're not in there. They're down way low on the list of aggravating me, unless you're really really stupid, which has happened before. But yeah, it's always nice to have somebody, to get back to what you were saying, have somebody that you can bounce crap off of, and it'll probably give you a hand, I would imagine. But it's not that. Like I said, I bought the racking from that same solar guy. I bought the panels from him. I bought all the hardware to hook them to the racking for the solar panels. I bought a little bit of wire. I bought the two batteries from him. I bought the actual controller box from him, and he gave me a year's warranty on that, year warranty on each one of the batteries, and I figured that was better than nothing. And like I said, from what I saw over there, his whole family works there, 10, 12 people, and they're probably on, I'm guessing, 150 rye or something, and they got ponds and big covered areas and just pallet after pallet of solar panels and pumps and controllers and breakers and everything you could want solar wise. He's like, you could do it himself. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I was going to do the stuff inside, right? And I don't know. Did you watch that video? Did you see that that where that deal's mounted, that pull out deal, and it comes back and it locks into place, and the wood finish board and all that, all the put all that stuff on there, tied in all the wires and all that, 4,000 baht. I started thinking, I'm going 4,000 baht. So that's 30, 60, 90. It's like $120. And he's going to build this deal. He's going to no, just go ahead and do it. Because I was going to say, because I enjoyed doing that part of it, like I did on the kayak. But it I don't know. Like I said, they I get amazed. It's like whenever I hear prices on stuff, it goes, do I really want to even break a sweat for that? No. I do like working on motorcycles. I don't like working on motorcycles in 100-degree weather, 95% humidity. Would I'd love to build a bike out in that garage, but they're so pricey, man. They want so much money. I wish I could find an old panhead or a knucklehead or something like that, but God, they want so much money in the States. They want so much money, but they do have a couple of repop type, one knucklehead and a panhead and some other ones, but 1.5 million, 2 million, shit like that. I just don't. I don't know. I just don't. Some things I don't worry about spending money on. Other things I do. And since you were sitting there, can you? The last one too, I watched. Thought it was quite thrifty being able to both saving Wall Street. Yeah, I mean the guy's good, man. Uh, but was it you that you were doing some welding and your welder was taking a ship, but then you just, God, I'm trying to remember. But it really wasn't taking a shit. You Was it because you were using it continuously or something? I can't remember because I was wondering what, I can't remember. I bought the same thing as I bought all this other stuff that um God, I can't remember. The yellow. There's three companies that Lasada pretty much own and sell everything the same. And it's the one I've got, the Intertech, and a Toyo, a blue and white deal. Same price for a compressor, same exact compressor, same price, same exact compressor, different colors. Anyway, I've had pretty good luck with their drill. And what I liked about their drills, I've got a Sawzall, a cutoff, a hammer drill, a screwdriver, an impact, and each one of them came with, you could get 12 amp hour or 18 amp hour batteries. and so they're all interchangeable. So it's like if I'm using something that like that paint sprayer I've got 12 batteries that'll fit the damn thing. I'm never going to run out of battery. So and I bought the 50-liter air compressor, their spray washer. I figured I'd try to keep everything the same because I don't know, it's all coming out of China, made in the same place, so I didn't do it. So, but anyway, um, but I remember you saying something about the deal, but you got it to work, right? I think it was when you were putting that bridge across the island of Dr. Moreau that you've got out there. Uh, the tip. Oh, that's right. Now that you said that, I remember you saying that. Needing replaced it jammed up and caused the gears to bind. And how does that wire feed work? Pretty good. I'm imagining it's got a core wire, right? Because you're not using any kind of gas, right? I don't think. But this one that I've got's got it's wire feed or stick or arc or whatever you want to call it. Where's Craig? He'll correct me on what a stick welder is and what an arc welder is. But it's got both. Yeah, I'm gonna try it. I've got some bunch of steel there. I'm gonna cut it up in pieces. I bought a nice steel table, almost like a welding table, and I'm just gonna get out there and see if I have any skills left whatsoever from back in the day, 20 years ago, which I probably don't. But it'd be good enough, to lay something on there, grind it down, paint it, if I want to build something. Because I figured I'd like to, like, next to the truck where I'm pulling in, I've got a little bit of space, just a little U channel there to run PVC and lightweight stuff on. Get some stuff, maybe some couple pieces of steel. Maybe I'll be like Craig and I'll put it right down at height so that when you're walking, you can crack yourself in the head. Um, I'm busting his balls today. The wire feed is much easier to weld, very thin metal. Yeah, and I figured that. I bought two different kinds of welding rod because I didn't know. One was the one that they said everybody used, and one was an actual thinner rod, because somebody was saying, "God, I wish I had thinner rod." So I said, "I'll try." Because I bought a Thai brand. I even bought. I'm a fanatic on shit. I even bought the. I even bought this out of China to keep it from going bad. But this I don't remember. This one of them was the standard, and this was the one. I think this is the Thai brand, right? This is from Thailand. And I don't know what size this is. What is it? 2.0 by 300 milliliter, 1 millimeter, uh, 1 kilo. I just figured I'd try a little bit and see. One smaller than the other. I can't remember which one it was, but just give me something to learn and do. And I figured I'd get one of these because I know that the welding rod will probably go bad. Uh, the amount of times that I'm going to use it. Hey Bear, you don't mind, dude? He's got his head right on my feet. Okay. So let's see the wire treatment. Yeah, so I'll try both of them, see how they work. But I've got a bunch of racks, and then I bought two stainless steel. They had buy one get one at half price at Thai Wazadu when I was buying some stuff. Her sister, her cousin, works there. She's the one that always gets everything. We just got to send it over there. She takes it over, gets all the pricing done. I know all the pricing on everything. She said these are good, really nice, and so I bought two of those. I've got one, two, three more of them because I want to get all this shit out of here. I've got stuff underneath in these cabinets that don't need to be there. They just need to be. So I'll probably buy more like one of the kayak. I had those black boxes, something like that, the plastic boxes, and put them up on shelves, mark them, what's in them. One of them I've got the other racing backup set in here that I don't need to have in here. I just want to get it there so I can get over and race a little bit. I'm kind of getting kind of jonesing to do that. Have you ever tried it on the stuff? It works well on thicker stuff, but not real thick metal, as it does not penetrate as well as that stick welders. Yeah, I figured I'd try it. Hey, Paul, how you doing? Glad you could stop by. Um, yeah, I just fool around with both of them, but I just saw it in there. And somebody was talking on a YouTube channel, excuse me, that I was watching, saying this stuff's so thin. I wish I had a thinner rod, and I could, go at a lower temp and blah blah blah. And I saw that, and this stuff was. I don't know. It was 150 baht. I don't know. It was like $5 or something. So I figured, well, I'll try it, see what happens. I can put this back up. Did it come up? It will, I think. Maybe it won't come up until somebody types in again. I put the little show the comments down here. Oh, the box is there. I can see it. I can see the difference. Anyway, but I figured that was that same, like I said, that same name. I think I've got some little tool stuff that I want to get. Some channel locks, some vice grips, and a little tap set. I didn't get any of that yet. I got drill bits and all that kind of stuff. Little stuff, 200-300 baht here and there. And I figured I already spent a ton of dough, so I figured every month on my budget, I'll take maybe 5,000 of my budget and buy some tools that I need. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to it being done. Maybe I'll see if Sim wants to do that. If not, I know when he left today, he said I can't do anything because it's raining, and I know his guys need work, and if they want to paint, they're just going to have to, if they want to do it, maybe I'll let one or two of them paint it and get ahead of the game. Maybe I'll have my wife talk to him about that. I'll talk to Sim first and make sure I'm not raining on her parade. She was excited to get the money I was going to pay her, but yeah. So this. Let me see. What was I going to do? Remove. I don't want to remove. How do I put it back on? Oh, I guess I can't. Oh, maybe I can over here. What does this do? Edit. Stop screen. Full screen layout. Huh. Can you guys see that? Yeah, I guess you can, right? I didn't know I had the. Can you? What are you guys seeing on your screen right now? Are you seeing that polo, that bench that I'm going to get? Yeah, I've been Lasada shopping for 6 years. 1 to 5 things come every day. I need to step back. Okay, so you see it. I didn't know that, but on the actual picture where I can click to remove it or whatever, there's a little box and it says full screen layout. I didn't know that I could do that. That's awesome. I wonder if I could do that. Let me remove that. Okay. Where am I? Oh, okay. I got to be over here. Then let me go to. Will it let me video file extra camera? No, I don't think I can do it that way. Image file. Okay, so I have to stop that screen to get this screen. So let me share screen. I want to see if I can. Hey David, how you doing? Hey Randy, how's it going? Let me see. What did I do? How come it didn't work? Share screen. Okay, come on. There we go. There it is. Okay, now, so I'm seeing just like you are almost, but if I come up here and I click this, then it goes to full screen. Okay, that's cool. So anyway, in case anybody's wondering, I was supposed to do a live stream this morning. You can see here by the, you see my mother-in-law, by the rain, they were supposed to start pouring concrete. You can see the forms over here, and obviously that got shut down. So I have some new fish. I bought 50. One of them's 54. About 5 fish that I shouldn't have bought. My wife is worse than me, I'm telling you. But it one of them, and I'll show you here, 54 centimeters. They just came yesterday. That to my thumb, from here to where my thumb is here, is at 54. One at 52, right here. One at 50, and I think the other two are at 47. So I mean, some fairly good sized fish. So they're out there, and like I said, I treated them with potassium permanganate, which is an oxidizer and kills bugs. And they shipped okay. They were just stressed. When koi get stressed and they're have white on them, white tails, orange and white kohakus, sankes, that have white on them, they'll get veiny and red when they're stressed. And they were all stressed. Now, long trip, tiny box, you know. But so I treat them with that. It takes the slime coat down, kills like 4 or 5 different kind of bugs, and it also helps soothe those and heal any kind of little wounds or anything that they have. So yeah, yeah, and it's I dig it, man. Like I said, um, it makes it kind of neat because I'll bring it up. I'll bring up because I discontinued it. I stopped it. But what I like too, Randy, is that like earlier we are just sitting there because this is like you see my mother-in-law. But I can do, want to see. Let's look at the pond in Ubon. Boom! I hit the button. There's my pond. I can that there most of them are pan and tilts, so I can move around and in the back over here, pond's really full, obviously. That's my solar well and a 1,500 liter and 1,000 liter, and then down one side of Ubon and out the front, and depending on how that's on my rice field right there. That little spot on the other side of the mangroves or the mangroves, mangoes, and let's see, the other side I think is showing the front. Yeah. So I got to get more grass and stuff on there. It looks like they've had quite a bit of rain there. Um, and go back and like I said, I can see the pool here. Um, see my koi pond, and then this also is on pan and tilt, Randy, and I can actually look at the man cave in case anybody hasn't seen it. I got one of those big, expensive smokers. I think it was $100. I'm surprised the metal has lasted this long, a year. But there's a table of it. It's kind of a cool place to just kind of relax and eat, and I like it. That's the man cave there, and we'll move it back over to the fish. Let's see, and then in the front of the new land, that's the ass end of my truck and the ass end of my trailer that you can see there, and then the garage. Well, it must not be raining out there. I got to go out soon anyway. I'm gonna make that stretch out there because I don't really want to leave that stuff in there. They've probably been through enough problems. Let's see this one. Plain front road in the front of the house, and over on the right where that green deal's laying on the back. That's where the other side of the furthest banana tree, where you can kind of see some gravel down. That's where the big one was, and that's where my truck and the trailer were parked. And then over here, where that green thing is on the bottom, that's where the first one I put up for the Isuzu truck. Look at there's a bird. Let's look at the little bird. Can you tell I'm a little bored? Anyway, okay, I'll get out of it. I did that for Randy. Okay, I can bring my mug up. Let everybody know later. We'll let everybody know when we're in Surin later this month, not next month. Okay, cool. Yeah, let me know, and we'll definitely come by and go have lunch and look at the systems, look at everything. So I need to up my security camera game. Yeah, some of the ones here don't either, but most of them do. This was the first one I did. And I think we have 6 cameras in Surin, 4 of which I believe are pan and tilt. The 5 cameras that we have in Ubon are all pan and tilt. And then here, let me put this up in that. Let me go in the right corner. See if I can to the right. Oh, look at that bird. That's a close up there. Um, Above the 9-foot door there, I'm going to have a camera put right there, at pan and tilt, because right on that right side of the building is where the fish tank is. So I can pan and look at the fish in there or whatever, and then in the front I can leave it, coming. I don't think I'm going to put one inside. Maybe, maybe not. If I put one inside, I probably won't put a pan and tilt. If I put it in the corner, I could probably get the whole room. But I definitely want to put put one on that corner just so I can see the fish, and like I said, I'll have a good because they're in a loop, so everything records and all that kind of shit. So nice way. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I dig it. I can look. So I can sit here. I can sit on my phone. I could be anywhere in the world, and I can look at what's going on with probably. And I think most everybody did. I know Kenny, I believe, has cameras. Everybody that I know, I think, is either got them or they're having them put in. It just seemed for the price again to have something that you can, go and look at. Uh, look anywhere you want, you can see. I think it's worth it. Let's see. So anyway, God, it's been an hour and 50 minutes. I was just gonna come on, maybe do a little bullshitting, but I guess I came on and I did more than a little. But and I guess, like I said, the sound. What I do, I'm gonna have to move this arm. I'm hitting the side of the 32-inch, what right there. But I think if I move the arm more behind the laptop's right here, behind the laptop, then I can actually bring it in. But I don't know. I guess it sounds all right. We'll see. But I don't know. I'll watch back a little bit. I did do like I said, I really like this monitor. This one is an Acer. It has speakers in it, although I don't use it. I use a external speaker. Um, it probably does a lot more stuff than I. It's a gaming deal. 100, 200 and 240 hertz. 240 hertz, but I don't even know. There's supposed to be some way that you set it up in the computer that your monitor is this many hertz. But the picture in it, I've been watching a new show on Hula. It's a cooking show of all chefs, and they're competing against each other. What Guy Fieri is the head, the announcer or whatever. But it's been pretty. I watched one season. I think it's got 3 seasons. That's pretty good. When I was in Thailand for 2 months, I was frequently looking at my camera just to see what time it was there. Yeah, like with me, I can, um, I can pop it up. I can, if I'm somewhere, I can pull up. Oh, is the, uh, is the pond okay or the fish okay? I can look at them. I can actually see them quite well, and is the water level good? Is water flowing in this filter over here? Yes. Is water, coming out the waterfall? Yes. You know, so I can tell. So it comes in handy. I'll say that. Every time I do that, it switches over the full thing. So I guess I could do that. Yeah. So I guess I could do that on my own. If I come over to here and add it, depending on where I can be a little guy in the corner, or I can go full screen from here too. Yeah. Okay. Well, this one's basically full screen with just me down in the corner. Can I move myself? No. What does this do? Remove from stage, solo layout, mute. I can mute myself. That's always nice. But anyway, am I boring you guys yet? Our gals and gals? But yeah, so a couple of things, like I said, I wouldn't, that I've heard is the bank account thing, which I wouldn't, check it out yourself. But I have two accounts with Bangkok Bank. I got one when I was on a tourist visa that 7 years ago they told me I couldn't get, and I got it on my own. They would not give me a second bank account without a long-term visa. When I did get the long-term visa, I got the second bank account. So I have two of them with two bank accounts with Bangkok Bank. My wife's got like four with the pink bank, the blue bank, this bank, and the other bank. And I have some money in the pink bank, which is the government bank. But from what my understanding is, there's been some people that are using it for some kind of fraud, the bank accounts. And so Bangkok Bank is the first one to step up and say, okay, we're going to start. No one, I guess you can't. I don't think you're supposed to have a bank account if you're on a tourist visa anyway. They just, like anything here in Thailand, depending on the person, depending on how they feel that day, depending on what you're going to get. But I think they're going to bring it out that, they are, but there was rumors out there that, people were, they're going to take my bank account and steal my money. They're not going to give my money back. They're just going to close my bank. No, I can't see that happening. But if you're watching this and you're here on a tourist visa and you've got a bank account, you might want to go and ask them, what do I need to do? Unless, or bring it down to, whatever bot that you don't mind. But I just can't see them. They won't do that. They may shut your bank, your close your account, but they're going to give you your money. So if you don't feel good about it, you don't want to open up a can of worms, I would say knock it down so that there's only 1,000 baht in there or something, and do it. But I would check on it. But if you've got a long-term visa, I don't think you have any problems whatsoever. It was nice to have it right from the gate when I got here on my tourist visa. Definitely was nice. But I don't think that's going to be a problem. The taxes, I still don't see any problem with any kind of taxes. We'll see what happens. I'm still hoping that they're going to take the taxes off of Social Security. That would be nice. That cost me, I think, $2-3 grand a year for that. So that would be nice to have. I could go on another vacation. And I think maybe they'll do it. I don't know. We'll have to see. I know they took it out of that bill that they're trying to pass. We'll have to see. The other thing that I touched on today was I'm kind of embarrassed for Californians and the rioting. Just stupid people. It just makes me. Somebody said I shouldn't say that I'm American, that I'm a Californian, and because Los Angeles, like I said, man, they're poor people there. Any excuse. If there's a riot, somebody's going to be looting. It's like open season, And then they had that law, which I never even heard of, that if you looted but you only took so much stuff, they didn't arrest you or something. What kind of crap is that? Thank God I don't live there, so I don't check into anything. I don't care. You want to go loot, I guess. But it's like it's a given. There are people just waiting. God, I just can't wait for the next riot. I know exactly what store. I need tennis shoes. I need a television, a nice flat screen, maybe a kitchen table. I mean, get a job, go to work, buy the shit. I don't know. Like I said, just venting a little bit, relaxing a little bit. Kind of wish I could have got some concrete poured today, but didn't happen. If we don't get any rain, it'll probably take about 2 or 3 days for that to dry. That's what it took the last time. If they would have poured a couple of days ago, they would have been fine. But they don't want, they like to drink. But we'll see what happens. If it doesn't rain, it took 3 days, I think, to really dry to where I say you could drive a concrete truck. Yeah, I'm glad I don't have to watch it, Randy. I see stuff you can't, I watch Facebook because that's how I keep in touch per se with my family without them even knowing. Did little Bobby broke his leg a week. Is he all right? Let me go on Facebook. Bobby's doing so much better today. 10 minutes on Facebook, I can check out my whole family and get 99% of what's going on. And then I'll talk to my family occasionally. But now when you're scrolling through Facebook or YouTube or whatever, they put up all the crap. But what the shit. Oh well. But like I said, it doesn't make me proud to call myself a Californian. And I don't know what that shit I don't know this. I did post something on that Gavin Newsom or whatever. Somebody did a little AI thing of him singing with them tearing the city down and somebody riding around on a motorcycle with the Mexican flag. It was hilarious. So I posted that. So somebody go, "Oh, he's a Republican." I don't know. I'm a nothing. I'm gonna put somebody in charge that'll help the American people. That's what I am. Not somebody that's asleep, whether they're Republican or Democrat. If you don't have your senses, you shouldn't be president. If you fall down every other step, you shouldn't be president. If you walk into the jungle blindly, you shouldn't be president. And the people that should really get fried are the people in that party that did not get him out of office. That's the people that should fry. But there's my take on that. Like I said, I don't care. I don't live there. I do care to a certain extent. My kids are there. My family's there. My grandkids are there. But I don't know. Man, this rioting thing and looting and I don't know. Yeah, okay. It's going to be 2 hours here in 2 minutes. So I'm going to say by the time I go up and click the button and tell everybody how great you are, and thanks for subscribing. And we have been getting some subscribers. Like I said, maybe 15, 20 a month, which is awesome. That's fine. Thank you for subscribing. All my subscribers, you already know you're the best on YouTube. But I always have a good time. And I'm gonna do a live stream tomorrow. So if you guys are out and about tomorrow, 8 a.m. It's already up, I think. I have it up already. So we'll do that and see if I have anything left to talk about. But anyway, all right, let me go up here and click end stream. Come down here to the little put on my button. Look at everybody out there in camera land, YouTube land, everything. You guys are awesome. I really do appreciate it. Everybody have a great morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you're at. And I'll catch you on the next one, which will be tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock a.m. Thai time.